Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina, and I am back. So I'm going to shift into talking with something totally different than I usually do, but it still has to do with, entertainment, TV, movies, all that jazz. So as you know, the writer's strike has been going on for the past couple months. If you want to read up on these specific reasonings, you can go to their website, WGA, and look it up. And basically, it's them asking for a livable wage and wanting residuals. And the main stick in their side is the streamers, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, so on and so forth. And now the actors, SAG-AFTRA, are now officially today on strike. So what that means, in the first time in 60 years, both the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild are striking together. This is huge. Now, they have not said the stipulations of the actors or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing as the writers. They will not work. They will not do anything. They'll be out there striking, and a potential Hollywood lockdown is imminent. And I could not be happier. And let me tell you why. And I'll tell you from a viewer perspective and kind of what I've been seeing from the actors and writers' perspective, specifically when it comes to streaming, because that's the main thing that both the WGA and SAG-AFTRA have said about why they are striking. Now, we all seen the streaming services pop up in the last couple years. They've been the main source of entertainment, and some of the shows nominated for all the awards. Streaming has dominated, the Emmys. We've seen that yesterday and even the past few years. And like I said, their main thorn in their side is residuals. And the thing that happens is when their shows go on the streaming service, the actors and writers get a smaller percentage of the residuals. Whereas when it was network TV, they would get a bigger percentage because you got ads and they would, show the episodes over and over again. Where streaming, that's harder. And now with streaming, that's even way worse. What's been happening recently for the past few years is that with these newer shows, they would just cancel them after one, if they're lucky, 2 seasons, and then take them off the platform and put them on the free streaming services. And that's been the practice that's been happening with HBO Max and with Disney, and I'm not sure if any other streaming service will do that. That also is hurting residuals. And also with writers' rooms, they are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller because seasons are becoming smaller. Shows traditionally on networks, it run for like 20 to 22, 23 episodes. You work all year round, you get your paycheck and everything's fine and dandy. Now you look at streaming shows, they're like 6, 8, 10, maybe 15 if you're lucky. That's rare. You probably going to work on a show for like maybe 4 to 6 months and you're not even sure if that show is going to be renewed, or you're not sure if it's going to, even now, you're not even sure it's going to stay on that particular streaming service, maybe, shipped off somewhere. There's been many shows that they have been filming their current season and not only they were canceled, but taken off the platform. And then we have to shop our show to a different platform because now we're taken off out of nowhere. Famously, Batgirl was canceled in the middle of filming and they stopped that. And that has been proven to be aging like milk because we've seen the failures, particularly at WB with, Black Adam, with Shazam, and now The Flash is the biggest bomb this year. And there's no way Batgirl could have lost the company that money. And now with the Actors Guild going on strike, I'm assuming one of the stipulations that they cannot promote these movies. We got some big movies still coming out, the summer blockbuster season. San Diego Comic-Con, I think, is next week, and there's still some movies to be shown. And now, already, you kind of seen the box office suffer because, the writers are on strike, and because they can't. And with the writers being on strike, the late night talk shows are not being put up anymore. They can't do their jobs. because the writers are on strike, and that means people don't go on those late night talk shows to promote their movies. Now they're still going on like YouTube videos, content creators, because none of those people are part of the WGA, but that does affect the promotion of the movie. Now it's even going to be even more detrimental, because if when the actors go on strike, they're not going to promote the movie, and they're not going to promote their TV shows. That's all going to be taken away. And recently, yesterday or the day before, the companies, or somebody from the, one of the CEOs of the companies was like, oh, we're just going to drag the WGA, and we're just going to wait until they lose their houses and their way of living. And then last night they tried to rectify that and be like, oh no, we didn't say that. It was a fear-mongering technique. They are trying their hardest to be like, oh, you're overreacting. This, in an interview today with Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney, saying that the writers are being unrealistic. Meanwhile, he's getting paid like $27 million per year. I mean, that guy is rich, okay? They have a lot of money. And it's funny to me how these companies are like, oh, we can't keep these shows, we can't pay these writers. But the writers' rooms are getting smaller, so you're paying less people, right? So if the writers' rooms, as the writers have said, and they've are upset by, are getting smaller, shouldn't it be easier to pay less people? Or are y'all just being greedy? And we're really seeing the greediness of, these top execs. I mean, we've always seen that. I'm not stupid. All these old white men, they always fell up. Bob Iger just extended his contract at Disney to 2026. So, he just got a pay raise. Somehow, David Zaslav, who's the CEO of Warner Discovery, got to be an Academy member. So, he got a pay raise. And, Bob Iger in a recent interview was talking about, oh, COVID did this and, come out for COVID. But remember, during COVID, a certain CEO became billionaires. Like, all of a sudden, Pete the Richer was getting richer somehow, like with Amazon, with, what's his name, Jeff Bezos. He became a billionaire during COVID. A lot of those millionaires became billionaires during COVID. So it's not COVID. Please, because y'all got richer from that somehow. There's no way. Y'all just want to cut corners because y'all want to become richer and richer and richer. Meanwhile, our art suffers, TV suffers, movies suffer, and the viewership suffers. With the viewership, we want to watch these shows. I want to watch these shows, but I'm scared to get into a new show on these streaming services because I'm scared they're going to get canceled. And not only canceled, being taken off the streaming service. And now you're going to lose the eyes on here. I mean, quite as it kept, it seemed like on these streaming services, the reason why they don't reveal their viewing numbers is because they're low. And they have to be, because not everybody can watch every single show from these streaming services. There's an oversaturation of TV. It's impossible to keep up. I couldn't even keep up years before, and that's when it was only Netflix. Now we got how many streaming services? There's no way one person can watch all that. Even if a group of people, there's no way to watch everything. So of course the viewership is going to be abysmal. So y'all, I mean, they have to figure that out. They have to do a schedule. You have to get back to a set schedule like network TV. That's why network TV has lasted as long as it has. And now streaming, came out and now is falling even harder and faster than ever. And the actors and writers and so many people who work on this stuff are feeling it. And that is why they are striking. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a myriad of things that I've missed, but those are like some of the big bullet points. And so I stand with the actors striking. I stand with the writers. If certain shows get canceled, or certain shows get on hold, or certain movies are canceled, or certain movies are on hold, I don't care. I understand. I care about human beings. Okay, we're all human beings at the end of the day. Okay, these people got families, they got children, they got people to take care of. At the end of the day, we're all humans. And so, I just want to give my opinion on everything and some of the bullet points. What are your thoughts? Leave your comments down below, and bye, YouTube.